I'm Reed, and this is Man Cave Guitar Pedal Mania. Today, I'm looking at the MXR Green Day Dookie Drive. As far as I know, the only pedal named after a band and an album instead of a guitar player. I don't understand the marketing on that, but I'm just a guy who loves guitar pedals. Now, Green Day, when they were recording Dookie, apparently used two different amplifiers, a lower gain Marshall and a higher gain Marshall, and they were blended together in the studio. The MXR Green Day Dookie Drive is supposed to simulate that by blending a low gain and a high gain distortion sound. Does it sound like two Marshalls? I have no idea. I don't own two Marshall amplifiers, let alone a studio to blend them together. But what I do have is a Wampler Plexi Drive for my lower gain Marshall sounds, and a JHS Angry Charlie for my higher gain Marshall sounds. So, we're going to put the MXR Dookie Drive through its paces, and then I'm going to see if I can recreate the sounds on that using these pedals and put them in parallel through my Boss ES8 switcher and see if I can get the same kind of results using the blend knob on the MXR Dookie Drive. So, this video should be a lot of fun. Let's start off. Cue the safely non-copyright infringing but reminiscent of Green Day music. Let's take a look at the controls on the pedal. Of course, you have your on-off switch. As you can see, with the real party piece of this pedal is that it has the album art of Dookie on the front of it. Alright, I guess that's a selling point. So, funny story, I'm not even really a Green Day fan. However, my bass player Ben, he loves Green Day. And we do a Green Day song at our yearly concert in the library every year, so when I heard that MXR was coming out with a Green Day overdrive, I said, that'll make my life a little bit easier. I need to get that pedal. And this is really what makes it different from other distortion pedals is the blend knob. When the blend is all the way to counterclockwise, then you are getting your low gain output, and when it's all the way clockwise, you're getting the higher gain output. There are internal trim pots for the low gain, but I hate internal trim pots. I never open up my pedals to play with those things, so as far as I'm concerned, this pedal has one low gain sound. Luckily, it's a pretty good sound. So as you can see, we've got the blend all the way to the left. Of an overdrive kind of sound than a hard Marshall-y distortion, but I really like it. If we go back and we turn our gain knob or our blend knob all the way clockwise, then it's 100% on the higher gain setting. At that point, we can use the drive knob on the pedal to control how much distortion we get. Okay, that was the gain at 9 o'clock. Let's put the gain at noon. And at 3 o'clock. Woo! A lot of noise. Put it back at noon. As you can hear, when you go above noon, it doesn't get distinctly more distorted, it just kind of compresses a little bit more. My favorite setting is at noon, and then The real fun and magic with the pedal comes in using the blend knob to blend that lower gain and higher gain output sound. So, let's hear what that sounds like. I'm going to start with the blend knob at 9 o'clock. So this is mostly the lower gain setting, but with a little bit of the higher gain rolled in. So this was just the low gain. Put it at noon. Quite a bit more there. And we'll put it at 3 o'clock. So now it's much more the high gain than low gain. My personal favorite setting is right about 1 or 2 o'clock. So, in my opinion, the MXR Green Day Dookie Drive sounds phenomenal, and I'm running straight into a completely clean amplifier. Did I forget to do my clean tone? This is what the clean tone sounds like. So, yeah, a vast difference when we engage the pedal. So if you like that Green Day type sound, I think this pedal will get you there. But how does it stack up against some competition? Let's listen to the Wampler Plexi Drive. Okay, just out of, if you're curious, I am running the MXR into my switcher, and then I have the Plexi Drive and eventually the Angry Charlie into loops in my switcher. So, first, here's clean. And here is the low gain Dookie Drive. Now, here is the Wampler Plexi Drive with all the controls at noon. Alright, I think that already sounds pretty close. Let's try that again. MXR, Wampler. Wampler's a little woolier. Sorry, I don't know the technical term for it. So I'm just turning up the tone control. Okay, actually need to cut the gain on the Wampler a little bit. Oh, I think that's pretty close. Okay, the pedals are not identical, but you can get pretty close to the same sound. Now, let's hear if we can duplicate the higher output with the Angry Charlie. Again, I've got the MXR Dookie Drive into the front of my switcher, and the Angry Charlie is going through a loop. So I'm going to leave the MXR at my favorite high output gain setting. The blend is all the way over so that we're on the high gain output, and just the gain at noon. And that gives us this. Now I've got the gain at noon on the Angry Charlie. Pretty close, but man, I don't know if the Angry Charlie just doesn't like my Big Joe Powerbox lithium battery, but that is a noisy signal. Let's go back to the Dookie Drive. Charlie. Okay, it's hard to remember exactly what things sound like, but actually I think that's really close. Yes. Alright, that's really, really close. Now, one thing I didn't demonstrate earlier, the MXR has a scoop button. I never ever use that, but if you're into that scoop mids tone, we'll hit the scoop. Now I'm simply going to turn the mids all the way down on the Angry Charlie and see what that sounds like. Again, very noisy. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I forgot to turn the MXR off. Well, yeah, that's pretty close. Now, let's see if using my switcher, I can put the Plexi Drive and the Angry Charlie in parallel and get a similar result to blending that MXR Dookie Drive. We'll start with the blend all the way to the left. That gets us our low gain sound on the MXR. This is the Wampler. Okay, I'm just going to turn the blend knob up on the Dookie Drive now to halfway. Okay, need a little more gain, so let's roll in some of the volume on the Angry Charlie. Maybe a little bit more. Now I've got the blend set for my favorite location between 1 and 2 o'clock. Alright. Should say I've got the volume on the Angry Charlie now between 1 and 2 o'clock. So, yeah, that's pretty close. So what does that prove? Well, nothing, really. I mean, to the best I remember, a Wampler Plexi Drive is about $200, and an Angry Charlie is about $200, and the MXR Dookie Drive is, well, less than $200. So, while I love the Plexi Drive, and I love that Angry Charlie, I've been using it for years, if it was me, and it is, I would save money and buy that MXR Dookie Drive. Now, I know that they were a limited edition, but while I was doing some research for this video, I saw that stores are now carrying carrying version 2, which looks like the same pedal just without the album cover artwork. So, yeah, I'm going to give the Dookie Drive my complete endorsement. It was really a surprise hit for me. Again, I got it just to make my life a little bit easier playing one song, and it ended up being my go-to distortion pedal. When I want to sound like I'm playing through a loud Marshall, that is the pedal I use. And I love my Plexi Drive and Angry Charlie. I'm not taking anything away from them, but the Dookie Drive does something that those pedals don't. even if you own both of them and a fancy switcher so that you can put them in parallel. If it were me, I would absolutely buy the Dookie Drive again, and I can't give it any higher endorsement than that. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you have, feel free to subscribe, like it, and share it with other people. Check out my other videos. I think I've got some good stuff in there. Feel free to comment if you don't agree. And I will see you again very soon. I've been Reed, and this has been Man Cave Guitar Pedal Mania.